One of the coolest things for me about Enshrouded is that it's another home run in the indie ballpark, right? Like it's another clear example of an indie title that's in early access, yet it doesn't have any of the scummy crap that we normally see with a lot of early accesses. More than that, it's got a lot of features that a lot of AAA polished games don't have, one of my favorite features of which is out of the box controller support, despite the fact that it's only an early access title. Even Baldur's Gate 3 didn't give me controller support until the game actually launched out of early access. Same with Rogue Trader. It was mouse and keyboard only during early access, and it wasn't until the games launched into their full state that I was given controller support for the PC, along with the fact that those games launched on consoles as well. Now, Enshrouded has made it clear from the get-go that they are going to be launching on consoles later on, and this is a great way for people to see how the game plays on console. And I, for one, I've talked about in a lot of my other videos how as I've gotten older, I have extreme tendonitis in my left wrist, particularly here, and so WASD all day long on top of typing millions of words for my clients over the years and all the other things I've done. I've got worn out tendons, and so I don't deal with mouse and keyboard that much. I much prefer controller support. Now, what's really brilliant to me is how well done the controller support is in this game. So right now I'm running around with the controller just like this, and as soon as I drop the controller and move my mouse, now we're suddenly, you know, here we are, mouse and keyboard, I can run around, do things like I normally would, hit the E button to open up a door, go in here, close that down, run around, talk to you with E, so on and so forth. And then I can just pick up the controller again immediately. Now we're suddenly on the controller again, and I can LB, use my bumpers to go over, go down with my D-pad, my thumb pad. It's just a seamless transition from mouse and keyboard to controller. And I've just gotten to the point now where I'm getting older, and as I've gotten older, I've gotten crankier about games just not providing me with the flexibility to play how I want to play. I can't tell you how many games that I just flat out refuse to play because they don't give me the option. It is not that difficult, and I say this as someone who works in game dev and has spent the last 10 years in game dev. It is not that hard to add controller support to your game. It is man hours, and it is something where you have to dedicate someone who can get it done. But most games, especially if we're talking the Unreal Engine or the Unity engine, allow you to pretty much out of the box create controller support that goes alongside the mouse and keyboard support. And when you have a seamless transition like what they've provided here, it just works extremely well. So for me, one of the main deciding factors about whether or not I was going to pick this up in early access or wait was, did it have controller support? And if you go back to the Discord, I think Kel and myself and a couple of other people were talking about Enshrouded. I think about a week ago, like right after it had first came out, there was a discussion amongst people like, are we interested or are we not interested? And I had left a comment saying, I am interested, but not until it's out of early access because I need to know X, Y, and Z. X being, does it have controller support, or do I want to wait for it to come out on the Xbox, or do I want to wait until it's in full release because maybe they'll have controller support then? So imagine my surprise, pleasantly, when I went online. That's called Coca-Cola, which is giving me a burp. I'm gonna take another one because I need a swig after talking all that. Imagine my surprise when I went online and I found out that not only did it have controller support out of the gate for early access, people had already put up guides about the controller support, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Now, I'm going to be doing a future video, probably the next day or two, on how I use the combination of mouse and keyboard and console controller, because I don't just play on the controller. I do play on both, but the vast majority of exploration that I do and everything else is simply on the keyboard. Now there are some, or excuse me, on the controller. There are some caveats because technically, as an example, and I'm going to assume this is an early access quirk. If I go in here to the settings and I go to rebind mouse and keyboard bindings, and you go down here to like sneak, like I really wanted to put a secondary control here of sneak and say I want this to be my right click. So, but I can push and nothing's happening. Like nothing on. I can push all these buttons. It won't accept rebindings on either the main or the secondary slot. So I haven't figured out how to make that work yet. Otherwise, the controller is right out of the box exactly the way I love it. The only thing I would change is they have, not only do you run by clicking down on the left pad like this. If I'm running, you click it, and, or now you're running, right? So you're walking, you click it, now you're running, right? Well, it also operates the sneak, but you have to be standing still to operate the sneak. And I would love sneak to be on the right thumbstick like it is in so many other games, but I can't get it to rebind. So I don't know if that's an early access quirk or what the case is, what's going on there. But apart from that, like just being able to run around and explore all of this amazing game world with such a seamless, switching between the two. I mean, it's really so amazing, and I wish more games did it because even Baldur's Gate 3, as much love as I have to that game, they have a completely separate UI for the mouse and keyboard versus the controller. So even on that game, if you watched my live streams of Baldur's Gate 3, anytime I would switch from controller to mouse and keyboard, it would pause. Like there would be like a 1 to 2 second pause, the screen would go black, and then it would pop up a brand new UI anytime I would switch between the two. But that's not the case. As you can see here, the UI stays exactly the same. I'm going to drop this and start moving around with my mouse. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. The UI doesn't change at all. All that changes is if you watch down here, those icons change depending on whether or not I'm using mouse and keyboard or console, and it's freaking seamless. So I have been extremely pleased by this. For someone like me who has, I wouldn't call what I have accessibility issues. I definitely don't have a disability, but I do have, uh, um, lingering issues just from getting older, and so I like to be able to play these games in a variety of different ways to get the most out of them. So providing me with controller support out of the box is always going to be a win for when I'm playing something. And let's just go over here and say I want to mine this, get some flint rock, right? Flintstone, that's what it is. Like, and I'm just holding down X, right, on the controller. Obviously, you could do a PlayStation controller. I have an Xbox controller, and then all I gotta do is switch back over to the mouse and keyboard, and now I'm holding down the left mouse button and I'm mining accordingly. And then, whoop, we're going back over here and we're running and we're mouse and keyboard again, and I'm switching my hotbars, and I'm going through and using the mouse wheel to scroll and scrolling through all of my things. But then I can go over here to the D-pad and just boom, 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 boom. Like, come on. It's just so seamless, and the combat is really fluid on the mouse and keyboard as well as on the controller. I personally just really prefer this. Anyway, I've got another video that's coming on the pipeline, which is going to be talking about how exactly I play this with the hybridization between mouse and keyboard and controller. So if you like this kind of stuff, make sure to stay tuned because I will have future guides in this series. We're doing a lot of Enshrouded stuff right now. So if you like that kind of content, make sure to stick around, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams here and on Twitch because we multi-stream. I play a lot of different games. Check out the playlists. Join the Discord. Pick up a copy of my latest book if you like Dragonlance and Forgotten Realms. Links are down there. I'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned, everybody. Be safe. Don't die out there. Enshrouded can be deadly.